Hi guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So yes, we did some Halloween celebrations yesterday, and today's the day after. I didn't have a chance to post a reading last night, so I still wanted to have my little Halloween ghosties, right? Since today is November 1st, All Souls Day, it kind of still applies. All right. So this is going to be a general reading for Aquarius for October 28th through November 9th. It is a general reading. It can cover love, work, friends, money, health, etc. And it is a timeless reading. So for some people, it could resonate 6 months in the future, 6 months in the past, days, weeks, hours, even years. Okay. So always keep that in mind as well. And, just bear with me. I think I have a little bit of a fever tonight. So I'm not feeling 100%, but I was like, I must do the Aquarius reading. All right. So the other thing I wanted to mention really quickly before we get into your reading here is that you are more than just your sun sign. So this reading can resonate for you, of course, if you are any sign, right? But if you're a sun sign, Aquarius, rising Aquarius, moon, your moon is in Aquarius, right? Or even Venus for matters of love in Aquarius. Okay, but even other signs can resonate as well, since we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our birth chart. So that's why I always encourage everybody, if you haven't already, to find out your other placements. You can just Google it and get a free birth chart online. So anyway, yeah, we're going to get into your reading here, Aquarius. I do have a couple of quick astrology notes we're going to go over, and hopefully I will have time later after the live to post, a timestamp in case some people want to skip ahead over the astrology notes in case you're not interested or you already heard about them maybe in one of the other readings for this series. But yeah, let's get into it here, Aquarius. You have a really good reading. Just want to say that ahead of time, so I can't wait to get into it with you. Okay, so as some of you may already know, right, we're in Scorpio season as of October 23rd. And then a couple of days ago, we had a last quarter moon in Cancer on October 28th. And then 2 days ago, on October 30th, Mars entered into water sign Scorpio. So Mars, we think of the god of war, right? We think of anger, frustration, fighting energy. And that's more on the lower vibrational frequency side of Mars. There's also this really positive vibrational frequency of Mars that deals with creativity, leadership, and wherewithal energy. Okay, so hopefully you find yourself on the more positive aspects of Mars, or you're trying to, right? But that Mars energy, when it enters into Scorpio, could bring up themes of secrets coming out, the occult, endings, new beginnings, and also creativity, a lot of creative energy as well. All right, now moving forward on November 4th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, since it's Scorpio season, right? And so some people like to do their manifestations or their magic or their goal setting on a new moon because it's the smallest as it's slowly building to the full moon. But of course, you can do your magic anytime as long as your intention is the most important, right? Doesn't matter what day, but some people like to do that, so I like to mention it. And then on November 5th, which is a particular day and time for all of us, right? November 5th and 6th, we're actually finally finished with the post-shadow energy of Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde ended on October 18th, but we were still slowly getting off of that energy. So it'll be officially gone by the November 5th and 6th. Sorry, one second. Excuse me. Okay, I need some water. Hold on. All right. So on November 5th, right, besides the Mercury energy leaving us from its post-shadow period, we also have Venus entering into Earth sign Capricorn. So Venus deals with matters of love, assets, and big wealth. It's going to be entering into Earth sign Capricorn, dealing with not Sagittarius, but maybe you're dealing with Sagittarius. you're dealing with the Saturn energy of Capricorn, okay? So it could be a sobering energy around love, assets, and big wealth. It could have some people get in more to the idea of saving money and getting rid of any debt, right? Okay, but that Capricorn Earth energy is a very serious, nose to the grindstone, hardworking energy. Okay, so there could be some particular themes there for some people. And then also on November 5th, the third and last final note for that day, Mercury is going to be entering into Scorpio as well. So Mercury covers communications and electronics, to name a few, is going to be entering into, again, that Scorpio energy of endings, new beginnings, secrets possibly coming out, creative energy, the occult, okay, that kind of thing. So if you're interested more in it, you can always Google like Mars enters Scorpio. What does that mean for me if I'm a moon in Aquarius, etc. Okay, so always feel free to get more into it if you want. And then the last quick astrology note we have here today, Aquarius, is on November 8th. Athena Pallas, which is an asteroid, not a planet, but it's still big enough to affect us, is going direct. So it's been in retrograde of this year since July. So Athena represents, right, wisdom, the Greek goddess of wisdom, talents in the arts, artisans, defense, intuition, and justice, okay? So some questions to ask ourselves during this time can be, what is wise and who said it and who says that that's the wisdom or the knowledge I should accept, okay? So always good questions to ask at any time, but maybe in particular with that energy on November 8th. And then the last thing too, with the Athena Pallas asteroid going direct, when we talk about defense with Athena, it's not just outside defense of defending yourself here in the, 3D world, right? But it's also another aspect of the 3D world, which would be defense of your body inside, so or your immune systems. So for some people during this time period, your immune systems could be getting stronger, right? Which definitely sounds like a good thing to me, regardless of how you feel about the pandemic, right? But really just a couple notes there. So let's get into your reading here, Aquarius. Like I said, it's a pretty good reading, so I'm excited for you. All right, so we're going to start in the first main 6 here, and then kind of go outwards into your tarot confirmation cards, and also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, as it comes up, okay, to get more information. And then at the very end here, we'll go over your oracle cards. All right, so Aquarius, we'll call out your cards here. So you have 9 of staves in the right side up position, 4 of staves in the reverse position, 9 of cups right side up, 4 of sacred circles right side up, 5 of staves right side up, and 10 of staves right side up. So really nice energy here. You do have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you have 6 cards out of your whole deck, out of your whole reading here, Aquarius. So we're not just talking about the main 6, we're talking about even the confirmation cards. So 6 stave cards, which in this deck is also known as wands. So what does that mean? That means there could be some particular things coming up for you during this time about defense for you, because the wands represent growth, but also can be seen as like a weapon or a tool, right, to build something. So that could be, more issues around what you're building, how you're building it, how they are, right? If you're a cross watcher, or if this reading doesn't necessarily talk about you, it could be the person you're dealing with or your general environment situation, but it seems like there's definitely a lot of wand energy here. Some are reversed and some are not, okay? But let's get into the details, right? Oh yeah, one more thing too, forgot to mention, is when we talk about the first main 6 cards in the center, this first row is energy starting around October 28th. It's not exact, or it can be a little bit before, a little bit after, going through the rest of that week and weekend, and then really, that third card, and then going to the 6th card is the energy of that first week of November, going to about November 9th, okay? All right, so the Nine of Staves. Beautiful energy here to start off your reading here, Aquarius. Check out this guy, right? So you see this African man, and he's kind of, in the grass holding some type of, I don't even know what he's holding. Actually, it looks like a cattle thing, or the thing that you hit horses with. I don't know what you call that. All right. But anyway, and then he's got a bag on the side of him. All right. But this energy, regardless of that little details, right, is about almost being at the end of something and the beginning of something new, right? Since it's 9, almost 10. But it's also like a rite of passage energy. So there could be this African boy that's going through this rite of passage. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're not a man, right, or you're not a particular age, but all, different cultures have rite of passages. And even if you're find yourself not identifying with a particular culture with a rite of passage, you could be in that similar energy, or the person you're dealing with, their general environment situation here, okay? But it's also about taking a break. So he's going through this rite of passage, and he's got to stop for a minute before he almost finishes, almost to like save up his strength for like the final battle, okay? And so that's kind of the energy that we start your reading off here with, Aquarius. But so really nice energy, right? Not anything, negative in that card per se. As long as you do take your breaks when you need, right? Then I think you'll be okay, getting into this time frame. And also when we talk about the cards in the main six, or even all the cards, right? This could be recent past energy still lingering around. So what is the recent past? It's different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, hours, minutes, weeks, months, years, etc. Okay, so that's why it is kind of this timeless energy here. All right, your second card here, Aquarius. And this is really your only blockage in the whole reading, which is pretty good. You only have one. So other signs sometimes have 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 even blockages. You only have one. So that's always nice to know. All right, so you have the 4 of Staves in the reverse position, also known as the 4 of Wands. And this is actually, out of your whole reading here, Aquarius, you do have one repeating card, okay? And they're both reversed. All right. So anytime this happens, it's a particular note and message from spirit to pay more attention to this particular card, okay? Because in each of these decks, there's 72 cards. So that's 1 in 72 chances that it's going to come out again. And I do a lot of shuffling and cutting the deck and everything. So when it comes out, it's just like really pay attention to this energy, okay? So this is saying, since 1 is past energy, right? We'll go more into that later, but I just wanted to show you that they are both reversed in the same card. But let's talk about it actually for a moment if it was right side up. So when it's right side up in one deck, you see this Egyptian couple maybe, right? They're talking to each other. There's a plate of food and grapes and wine, and it's a very intimate situation, right? If you can see that here in the 4 of Staves in the right side up position. And then over here, you see the castle and the celebration and the end of a journey, right? But there's all these ribbons on the wands, really beautiful energy. But since it came out reversed for you, this is like your blockage. Like I said, you really only have one. And I feel for the majority of you guys that, sorry, Hermes, come here. No. This is where I have a little bit of music on because I live right by the stairs, guys. Sorry. Hermes, come here. Shh, shh, shh. Come here. No. Anyway, I was talking about the 4 of Staves, are also known as, right, the 4 of Wands in the reverse position. So I was saying that I feel like for the majority of you guys, this blockage has a lot to do with something in the past that was really exhausting you and having you too much in your head, or just general stagnant energy, right? Because my spirit guides wanted me to talk about, when we talk about the 4 of Staves in reverse, also what's on the top and the bottom of each deck here. Okay, so this is again past energy still lingering around and why this card came out even twice, right? So you have the Ace of Swords in the reverse position was on the top of your deck, and then you have the Ten of Swords in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck here, Aquarius, okay? So this is basically saying that there was this stagnant energy, and it could have been even a celebration put on hold in the past, right? Because if this card was right side up, you would see this crown on top of the sword and these wreath, right? So some type of celebration could have been put on hold here, as well as this general stagnant energy, this exhausted energy, and the mental confusion, okay, as well. You see that in the Ten of Swords. There's this woman, passed out on the rocks, and she's in the ocean, and she's just like trying to hold on, but she's going to get taken away, into the storm here. Okay, so this could be why this blockage is coming up again for you, because it's something from the past here that might have triggered it, or is blocking some type of vulnerable communication with someone. It could be with someone else, with a group of different people, with friends or family, romantic, whatever it is, work situation, right? But it requires, when it's right side up, that comfortable setting and the vulnerability between the two parties talking, okay? But it is reversed, okay? And again, the celebration with, if you can see it, sorry, the grapes on the table and the wine, right? So celebration or some kind of communication kind of put on hold here because a little bit of a blockage. But that's your only blockage throughout the whole reading here, Aquarius. So like I said, that's a really good thing, okay? Now your third card here is so beautiful. You have another 9, okay? And then later you do have a 10. Okay, that's like your foreshadowing. But look at your third card, the 9 of Cups in the right side up position. This is a beautiful, abundant energy. You see this party here, again, celebration theme, okay? A culmination of events. It also talks about leveling up, right? 9, almost 10. But also the Cups in the tarot represents emotional fulfillment, satisfaction, emotional priorities, okay? So it could be that at the beginning of November, the first 2 weeks or so, you are getting into this energy, or someone is around you that you're dealing with, the general environment situation. But it's really nice, okay? And when we were talking about before, a little bit of blockage with some type of vulnerable conversation between two parties, whatever parties you find yourself in or whoever it is, right? It looks like you really want to work on it, or they really want to work on it, because then your fourth card is the 4 of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as the 4 of Pentacles, okay? So you see this Native American man, he's smoking. So the smoke represents the peace pipe and communication. And also he is, slowly stacking his abundance. He only has 4 pentacles, right? Not 10, but he's working his way up. So it's really a nice card or energy that talks about planting seeds for the future. But it is for momentum and positive energy here, Aquarius. So very nice to see, especially after the 4 of Staves. Like, just for a second to go back, they were talking about that communication put on hold, the vulnerability, or some type of celebration put on hold, but here you're really working on it, or the other person is, or maybe both of you are, right? Both parties, okay? And then beautiful, what do we have as your 5th card? This is such a nice little anchor for you, right? You have your support system comes in here to help you, Aquarius, with the 5 of Staves in the right side up position. So you see these 4 Egyptian men working on some type of scroll, right? Some type of architecture maybe. But this is about not taking everything so seriously here, Aquarius, and relying on your support system, whatever it may be, friends, family, healthcare worker, whatever it is, okay? To really practice and plan for the future. Say, well, what if you did this? Or what if you tried this? Or have you looked at it from this angle? But really relying on them to help you not do it all by yourself, So that's beautiful here, Aquarius. All right. And then what do we have right here, Aquarius? The 10 that I was talking about. Oh, come back, camera. The 10 I was talking about before, right? I said you had, there we go. I said you had 2 9s, right? Remember you had the 9 of Staves and the 9 of Cups, right? And here you have the 10 of staves, and this is your last card in the main six. Okay, so this energy could be happening towards that first and second week of November for some people, right? It's not exact, but look how beautiful it is. You see this African woman, she's got these 10 staves, right, or wands on her back, and she's carrying a baby or on her shoulder, and then she's got a baby on her back. She's got a lot going on, and then a child in front of her, right? But this is that completion energy. You've moved to a new level in something with work or relationship or friends or family project, etc. Okay, but it's really about planning something again for the future and nourishing the seeds to do that, right? You can look at the children as a metaphor for a seed. Doesn't actually have to mean that you have children, right? But this is a really abundant energy. This also talks about new beginnings and endings, right? It could have something to do with the Scorpio energy that we're still going to be in, even up to, of course, November 9th, right? And then in the far background, too, there's like the ocean, okay? They're by the sea. So it's about mastering your emotions in a positive way to bring some type of completion to something, a leveling up, a beginning, an ending. So really beautiful here, Aquarius. Like I said, you have an amazing reading. So before we go forward, or before we finish, I mean, hold on, let's see if it'll focus on the ring, and then maybe the camera will come back. Sometimes that works. Come on, camera. Okay, there we go. I think I was moving around too much. I'm going to try to stay still for a second. Okay, so before we finish your reading, we have to get into your confirmation cards, of course, right? So we'll call them out and then go in order. So you have that Four of Wands, right? That repeating card, or Four of Staves in the reverse position is your first card. And then you have Four of Pentacles as your second confirmation card, and the Seven of Wands in the right side up position as your third card here, Aquarius. All right, so also wanted to say too, I forgot to say this earlier, is that as far as the major arcana and like what signs I may see in this reading, I'm really only seeing Gemini energy. Okay, that's just for the major arcanas. But if you look at the minor arcanas in your own time, and you want to do that when you see the photo at the end of the reading, you can always do that, right? But I really only see like oh my gosh, I can't talk right now. I really only see a Gemini energy here in this reading for you, Aquarius. So it could be that you're dealing with a Gemini, or you have a lot of Gemini predominantly in your chart, or they do, or it means nothing at all. But I just wanted to mention that real quickly. Okay, so going forward, this Four of Wands, right? This is that past energy we talked about a little bit before, about a celebration put on hold, right? A journey maybe put on hold, right? Coming back to home, right? You see this castle in the background, and there's all these ribbons on the wands, like, oh, welcome home, cross the river, you're almost there, right? But it's in the reverse position here for you, Aquarius. So this is where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, the ancestral path, the one we use for the main six, right? And again, this is past energies that's lingering around and why this card came out twice, okay? So on the top of the deck, you have the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, and then on the bottom, you have the Lovers in the right side up position. There is your Gemini energy I was talking about earlier, okay? So in the recent past, Aquarius, there could have been some type of medium-sized communication. What is a medium-sized communication? That either you gave or someone gave to you, or a medium, message from the universe. So a small communication would be like somebody texting you or calling you. Maybe a medium-sized communication is actually setting a time and place and meeting up with them. And then let's say that's lunch or breakfast, and then next large communication would be having dinner. You get what I'm saying, okay? So it's going to be different for every person. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. Okay, but there was this energy for momentum coming forward, and this also youthful energy of being open to learning new things, right? With the Prince of Cups in the right side up position. He's not a king yet, okay, but he's on his way. And then there was some type of sacred union here, Aquarius, in the recent past. And, when you put it together with a celebration put on hold, that says a lot, right? So what is a sacred union? The Lover's card is very similar to the Two of Cups energy. It's a higher vibrational love. It's not about lust, right? It's about the higher feelings, right? And so when you see this card here, it could be a sacred union, of course, like a work partnership. It could also be a sacred union if you really work well with somebody. It could be romantic, of course. It could also be a union with friends or family on a deeper level, or even could be union of different parts of yourself coming together. Okay, it will be different for everybody. But it seems like it wasn't the right exact time to do some type of celebration or to have some particular conversation that would really be putting you or the other person or both in like a vulnerable, comfortable place. Okay. All right, that was a mouthful, but let's keep going. So, Aquarius, when we have this Four of Wands in the reverse position, and it's coming in here and confirming the Nine of Staves right side up, and excuse me, the Four of Sacred Circles in the right side up position here. Okay, hopefully you can see that. This is basically saying that whatever this celebration was put on hold at the end of the journey or getting comfortable with the conversation, it was probably for the best, right? Because there was still a lesson that possibly you needed to learn here and take a rest before the final battle, like we talked about in the beginning of your reading here, Aquarius. Sorry, let me turn it down. And so when we also talk about the Four of Sacred Circles, it's all like divine timing, right? As we say, if you're watching a tarot reading, usually you're maybe familiar with that phrase about everything happens for a reason at the time that it's supposed to happen, okay? Because then you have the Four of Sacred Circles over here in the right side up position. That's the communication we were talking about again with the Native American peace pipe and the smoke and slowly building your abundance. It's like maybe the universe here, Aquarius, was really slowing you down for a reason, right? Making you take a before the next step, before you get to 10, right? So this is your first card in the main 6, 9, right? But then if we fast forward for a second, as we already know, you end with 10. Okay, so that slowing down of energy and working through that one blockage that you had is like really to your benefit. Okay, so going forward, your second confirmation tarot card is the Four of Pentacles in the right side up position. So there is an energy here of, being scared of something, really wanting to have control. You see this man and he's hugging a pentacle, right? This big coin. He's got one on his head and he's hiding them. He's got one each under his feet, okay? And so it's this energy of coming from a place of lack or feeling like there's never enough, really wanting to control everything, this restricted energy here, okay? And, what's interesting about it, I actually just realized you have 2 repeating cards. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I told you guys in the beginning of the reading I'm a little off tonight. Look at this. You have 2 repeating cards, right? Because I said if you see me before, the Four of Sacred Circles or Sacred Circles in general are the same thing as Pentacles, right? But the way that they depict it in every deck is different. The energy is a little bit different, okay? So here it's taken on a more positive thing, like work on your communication and keep moving forward. And here it's like, dude, if you don't work on your communication and you keep being greedy with something or trying to control something, you're not going to get more abundance in your life and you're not going to move forward. So again, anytime you see 2 cards in the same position from different decks, it's really a particular message from Spirit, okay? So I'm glad I caught that. But going forward here, this Four of Pentacles from the Llewellyn deck with the one with the yellow border, right? It's confirming the Four of Staves in reverse and the Five of Staves. And you can see the growth right there, right? With the wands. You have one in reverse right here, and then you have one right side up, and it's 4 to 5. So you see in every aspect of your reading here, Aquarius, there really is growth, which is beautiful, right? So it's just this small blockage or this celebration or communication put on hold or waiting for the right time to have this vulnerable conversation here, okay? But it's also about relying on your support system when you do feel your energy or someone else's energy, the general environment situation, right, is more restrictive, then go back over to your support system here, okay? All right, now moving forward, your third confirmation card here, another wand, right? In the beginning, I think I said you had six wands, okay? So here is seven of wands in the right side up position. And this is your third and final tarot confirmation card, right? And this is more future energy. The other two is more past stuff, right? This is more future energy. So you see this guy in some type of river and he's leaning his foot on a rock, and then his other foot is really unstable in this like flowing fast water here. And he's got wands all around him, almost like he's making a fort or defense system. And then, of course, he's holding one in his hand. So this energy is talking about survival, right? Operating from a place of always being on edge and fight or flight kind of syndrome energy. Okay. So when I see this here in your reading, Aquarius, it's really telling me that you have to let that go. You don't always have to be prepared to have a battle, right? I mean, yes, you were on a rite of passage in some way, and you needed to take a break from that before you got to the final battle. But then it's saying when you get to, the more towards the second or mid-November, however you want to say it, right? It's really making you ungrounded, and you need to be grounded, okay? Because the first thing I said is his feet are unstable. Like, look at that guy's feet, right? And then this other guy's thirsty with the 9 of staves upright. Excuse me, and he needs to take a break. So this is almost like a message from Spirit here, Aquarius, saying that to get to the 9 of Cups, which you have, and to get to the 10 of staves or the 10 of wands, which you have, it's all of this completion energy, leveling up, endings, new beginnings, a new stage of something, right? So it's big stuff to get to this, but it's very positive stuff, but it's just reminding you here that you need to ground yourself. And what is grounding yourself, right? Making sure you take care of your body, get enough sleep, ground yourself by doing things that you enjoy that don't stress you out, right? In between all of these changes here, okay? But, this 7 of wands, this could have been a defense system that you had inherited from even how you operated as a child for some of you, right? Not everybody, but it's like a past way possibly of doing something. And it's like, you don't need to do that anymore. Actually, you're already there. You're already at this culmination of events. You're already at the ending and the new beginning. So you don't need to do that anymore. All right, Aquarius. So this is such a beautiful reading. I hope it resonates for you in some way. And, always feel free to let me know in the comments down below too, if you want. But before you go, we're going to do your oracle cards too real quickly. All right, so it's a little more lighter energy here. So your first oracle card, this is your animal oracle. It's the gorilla. So cute. Look at that. And it says, take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. Okay. So that could be a particular message for some of you guys during this time frame. And yeah, you could always look up if you want to the power animal spirit symbolism of a gorilla, and even incorporate like gorilla magic into your life during this time or even after. Okay. But how cute. What a nice little message there. And then your second oracle card here, Aquarius. This is your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic reasons or platonic love with friends and family, or even self-love, or all of the above, right? But you got the wedding card. So this doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's going to get married. What this is talking about is all the combination of events I told about. You had all these 9s and 10s in your reading, right? So it's leveling up a new stage of something, okay? So when you look at this wedding card, you see these two people little white people getting married, right? Whatever. And it says this situation involves marriage, but it's really about this situation involves leveling up. So if it's a romantic situation, if you used to be dating and now you're exclusive, or you're moving in together, or whatever it may be, right? And then if you're looking at self love, you could just basically, it could be about bringing all these things together, and like making a commitment to yourself, like I'm going to work on my self-love, I'm going to keep myself grounded, all the things we talked about before. And then if it's with friends or family, platonic love, you could have known somebody for years, right, for 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden they tell you, depending on your age of course, and then something, they tell you something and it changes your whole relationship, and so it makes it more deep and intimate and whatever. So, right, so this card is just basically talking about that leveling up in some type of relationship here. All right. Now, your last oracle card here, Aquarius. It's really cute. I haven't seen this card in a long time. It says the eyes of beauty, and it says positive expectations and clarity. And then you see this kind of fairy-like woman, and she's looking through the trees or the greenery here. Sorry, the glare I'm trying to show you. All right, but this is a really beautiful energy that talks about perspective, right? So it's like, okay, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? It's like a kind of traditional way to look at it. It's the same amount of water in the same glass, right? But it's all about your perspective and how you look at it. And so this is basically a reminder too that what other reading I was talking about that this week, about basically whatever comes out of your mouth, right, is a manifestation. So just be clear that you want to keep keeping these manifestations and these thoughts about what's going to happen next for you, about yourself in general, the self-love, love of others. Keep it positive, okay? Because then it'll come back to you. It's like you're telling the universe, that's the energy that I want. Okay. So that's the best way I can describe it here. But really beautiful energy. Like I said, Aquarius, I love this for you. I'm excited. So hopefully something here, like I said, was helpful for you. But thank you guys so much for your energy and support and patience with the dogs and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to take a break here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Pisces yet tonight. I'm going to really try to do it because there's a lot of stuff to talk about with Pisces. But if I don't, it would definitely be tomorrow. So if you want to join me later in the next reading, in the Pisces reading, that would be amazing. And if not, that's okay too. You guys just take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Okay. All right. Bye.